And we could start working our way into this game. These players fighting to get 5th in the overall global rankings. The countdown is coming. We have got Xron going versus DaHanG, starting on Molten Falls. And let's see who we're going to get off from the beginning. It's going to be DaHanG on Visor. He'll get the rocket and Mega Spawn. He'll surely want to get himself that light armor. And getting that piercing sight straight off the get-go, having that full information, realizing, okay, we can have a safe, strict set of rules in the opening the part of the round.
Now those that are watching, a little bit more observant, may realize that Xron has particularly ugly cosmetic combinations, and that's just something that he's always done.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like hidden mind games there, like I'm gonna make myself look so weird and not ordinary that you don't even want to shoot me. It's like, I can't even look at it.
Yeah, exactly. It's disgusting. His clutch is actually the one that looks the worst as well, but I'm not sure we're going to see that from him today.
Thank God.
Well, DaHanG has got his piercing sight back. They've not scratched each other whatsoever. 0 damage done at the moment, but this is Molten Falls in a nutshell, really. It can be an incredibly slow map where it feels like the map is cut in half sometimes. There's one player roaming around the heavy and the other around the mega. And you have to see how these guys are going to want to pressure each other. DaHanG did just pass a totem. And again, from historically today, I won't shut up about totems, but when you're going versus Galena, in these time limits, when you die, your totems stay up. And it can really, really, really be a huge threat. Even if Galena is to fall 3 times in a row, continue shutting them down.
Anything that adds an extra layer is
Sure.
always going to be dangerous. You know, the champions that have no one-time use abilities, like you know, the Athenas or the Galenas, where you can constantly just kind of pump things out. At the cost of this giant payoff ability, you've got that utility which always exists. It's so important. There's a couple of turns to fall back on. Going to be swiftly dealt with, but because they gave the health, Xron's not really worrying just yet, and the armor is going to keep him healthy. We're going to see some mega and heavy spawn at the same time. I wonder if they're going to try and spring some kind of trap.
He's going to chase this. What a read through the teleporter. He flicks around straight away. There is a totem on the floor, and it looks like DaHanG's going to break out of here. There is a heavy that he can get, but they are starting to feel each other out a little bit and understanding how that pressure is going to be applied. Health brought back up, but there's Xron. He got an opening bit of damage. Is he going to try and push this? Lightning gun, lightning gun. He has the totem down, looking to pressure a little further, but DaHanG just sneaks around the corner. Chase through the teleporter. There are rockets to worry about on the teleporter exit, and Xron's not going to overcommit yet, it seems.
Yeah, DaHanG's in a position where he has to kind of rely on those small health bubbles to heal up. There is quite a lot of health and armor in this location, even without the heavy spawning, but the payoff of that is to make sure that Xron gets the mega completely unchallenged, and there really isn't much you can do about it. Takes out the totem, just try and deal with it. That's going to be a nice little rocket, 100 damage. That's one way to keep Xron away from chasing you.
Yeah, massive rocket over there, because I really felt that Xron was kind of walking away with slight edge on control, but look at that. If he takes a rocket, he gives a rail, it's back and forth, back and forth. I don't think, though, that Xron's got enough time with the mega spawning as it is to get to the heavy and take that. So we're going to continue having a very, very even split. And it's hard to tell who's going to be able to actually open up the taps first.
3 minutes have passed, so we yet to see a single frag just yet.
We did say this, though, when we were discussing it before the match, that this is a strategic game between these 2 players. I think it's exactly what we're expecting. But it's about trying to open up. What is the dodge going to be like? What's the positional play going to be like? We know that we've got some 2 highly intelligent players here.
Especially when it comes to timing. You know, rarely will DaHanG be caught without having timing on both of the pickups here. The little rail's going to do jobs, but I mean, you can see the benefit of the totems. You know, because the totems are being managed so well by Xron, he's always got something to fall back on. We're going to take out the totems now, but the damage is already done. You know, Xron was able to max up his stack there. Now DaHanG takes a rail, which kind of further creates that divide.
Oh god, there's a lot of pressure on him at the moment. There's going to be heavy up soon. Xron's going to go up the top area. There's a limited stack on DaHanG, at least with the armor. This would be a good time for Xron to be able to push in if he's able to find him. Piercing sight. Xron should have been able to hear that, but he's still pressing through a little bit. Just getting lots of little bits of splash damage. The algae looks like it's going to be enough. There's the opening frag. Xron, he's got something to work with. He's even got a little bit of control left, but he's on the wrong side of the map for the next major item. And DaHanG's putting on some good pressure with that machine gun.
Crazy how he was able to fight back that hard with just a starting machine gun alone. I was almost convinced that Xron was going to try and chase that down, but he realized very quickly, hang on a minute, I'm taking a lot more damage than I was prepared for. So let's back up just a little bit. And now you can see DaHanG trying to pressure forward. The heavy has already been taken, so he knows that's going to be out of action for a little bit. This missing a rocket launcher, which I really feel the rocket launcher is going to be important, especially for those close range encounters. Getting caught without it is going to be bad news. They're going to trade back some rails now. But again, Xron, he's happy to kind of just sit just outside that magic range. He does not need to overextend. I definitely think this is going to be one of those maps that goes to a few kills. 5 minutes has surpassed, only 1 frag's been taken, and it's much more about controlling the map than constant frags here.
He almost used a full set of rockets there just to try and keep one out. Does manage to land 1 good shot in the end. But DaHanG with this piercing sight when it comes back up, it is a tool that he can use to open up the map and to find a good angle on Xron when you have all of that information available to you. Again, trying to dull down the sound cues that he's putting out. Xron's not giving him anything in return.
I love how just exceptionally patient Xron is being here, actually. He knows that DaHanG is going to be sitting in the middle of the map. He's going to be trying to get some of that information.
Oh, wow.
Misses some rockets, and DaHanG's, his general rocket play, it hasn't really been enough to make Xron fear the threat of it. How many exchanges are we having here where the rockets, they're not even getting splashed, they're just completely missing.
But it's a bit of a zoning out at the same time. Even if it's missing you, you've got to feel like you've got to respect that possibility. Which is why I was surprised to see Xron go up the bounce pad at all. But he didn't take much damage from it. And I expect that DaHanG is going to get some more rockets, because whether you're hitting or not, those spam rockets are still one of the most important tools that you have.
And speaking of which, it will force Xron down a little bit, causing a trade now. Heavy for Mega. And on this map, I think 4 seconds isn't really enough time to grab both, so...
There's not really been more than about a 5-second desync between the items, which, as you say, it's not enough time. Once it gets to about 10 seconds, then you're talking about it. That's a great rail, though, from DaHanG. This might open up a small chance, but with the major items respawning shortly, it's about doing something very soon. And I think DaHanG, with just over 3 minutes left, still feels that control on his side of the map is still going to be the most important factor.
When it is a matter of 1 frag here and there, we have almost hit 7 minutes, and still only 1 frag's been in play. That does mean that the potential for a comeback's there. DaHanG can afford to be patient still. All he needs is 1 magic frag, and then we're into sudden death, and the rest will be history. But it's only when you start to see the climb extend that we have to start worrying.
This is brave from DaHanG. He only had 100 health, 50 armor, looking for a follow-up rail. The damage is not bad. You can see that he's taking a few more risks on this occasion. Xron's going to stack on the heavy. There is the mega up. Xron looking for a rail angle. He's not quite going to find it. It looked like he was seeking it, though.
DaHanG's been able to stack back up, and as we go seconds down, the clock begins to not be on his side so much. He's still got time to get 1 frag, but Xron's done such a masterful job of just taking no risks whatsoever. I mean, the last risk was what, the jump pad use?
Yeah.
And that was ages ago now.
At this stage, he could well be thinking about time, but he drops down because the heavy's going to be up soon. Wants to deny this one from DaHanG, pushing him out the map possibly. Not quite, but still securing the frag. The Ukrainian looking good in map 1. DaHanG still seems like he needs to warm up a bit. Some of these rails haven't really been connecting for him. I mean, you're talking about the rockets as well.
It's very much not looking like the DaHanG we're familiar with in this map in particular. But the wonderful thing about 1 map is it is just that, only 1 map. We're going to have plenty of time to get back on the horse for the future ones, but for now I feel like DaHanG needs to find his element a little bit, get a little bit more warmed up, and we'll see what he brings to the next few maps. Not counting him out entirely, but Xron is just keeping up this insane pace.
Those rails on that part of the map is so dangerous, because if you're looking to go for a strafe jump back through that corridor, you find yourself leaving the map. I think Nosfa did that handily, unprompted though.
We were wondering in the back room, what happened there? If we just see...
I'm still wondering, if I'm honest.
Go check the tapes. We are fast approaching a 1 minute warning. And Xron has no signs of changing up this strategy. This defensive style works so well, and establishing early control because he just managed his totem so well. DaHanG could rarely put Xron in a position where he was on the back foot, because he would simply just retreat the totems over stack, and then DaHanG was taking a massive risk to push in the first place.
Yeah, DaHanG's got to figure a way out into this, but I feel like this heavy picked up. I mean, it's not impossible for DaHanG, but he needs to be around the corner right now. Looks like Xron sensed something. He feels a little bit uneasy. Doesn't want to be in the same place for too long if DaHanG happens to be playing with those sound cues. Rocket jump up. I mean, this is DaHanG's chance. He's got to take those risks. His stack is a little weaker. The rockets from Xron has not been bad at all. He's got that totem up. The tribal's not bad, but the rail to follow. That's probably going to secure the map.
Yeah, it was do or die in that fight. DaHanG absolutely had to win it because he's going to spawn, he's got to restack, he's got to get more equipment, and that takes valuable seconds, of which DaHanG only has 20 of. Xron has played this map exceptionally well. And this should be a very convincing 1-0 where Xron just looked so easy to do what he wanted to do here.
Nice pushback. Even with a few seconds remaining, you really don't want to give up a frag. It's nice to be able to keep hold of it for yourself. Puts the totem down there. Guys, that's GG in map 1. Xron takes it. But we do have a Veil afterwards. It really feels like DaHanG is still trying to warm up into the game. I'm kind of imagining his self-commentary from home through that, missing the rails. He usually has words with himself about that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's where I think the self-discipline comes from, being able to understand what's not going well and why. And you know, DaHanG's always been the kind of player that can assess what the problems are pretty quickly,
yes.
Which is why he is to be feared in a best of 5, because one map not going his way doesn't necessarily mean the entire series is over. There's plenty of maps left to go, but I just got to give props to Xron for that one.
Yeah, very good.
He had a strategy and he stuck to it almost immediately. And the moment he established that early control, DaHanG just really struggled to find his element, and he just couldn't get into Xron's flow at all.
I feel like that's one of the very strong factors for the Liquid boys that we have, is their adaptability. Sure, you lose a first map and it didn't look amazing, but as you say, there's a accountant that's calculating things all the time.
It's very easy to, I think, sort of lose your hope and your way. Yeah, just a little bit there, just a little bit dismissing things that go wrong. Hey, just take it for what it is.
But it's never long term with him, though. He's always able to get back onto his feet again, even if there's some mild frustrations. It's you can see them there, but by the time he gets into the next map, it's going to be a completely clean slate.
That's one of the hardest things to do in a competitive setting is, no matter what the game or whatever is going on, if something doesn't work, you just have to get rid of it from your memory. Yeah. That's easier said than done in some cases, but it really is important because so many players can be their own worst enemy. You've got to dismiss things that go wrong and just treat a new map as a clean slate, because it is that.
Well, what do you think is going to be happening going into Veil over here, putting aside the sort of champion picks? Surely it's going to be a different pace to what we had in Molten.
I feel like the map naturally brings a different pace, first of all. The fact that not only is it more close quarters, but it's a lot more tricky, I guess you could say, because the emphasis on teleporters is so important. Obviously, we're not going to see Galena on this. You know, when we used to watch duels on Veil of Nath, it was Galena central.
Yes.
You'd see her as a 100% pick, and now the change has happened, and now Time Duel is the way it is. You get to see a little bit more variety. You know, BJ is going to be very, very dangerous on this map. That dual wield in close quarters is to be feared, but we'll see if DaHanG can get back up on this one. Currently one map down, Xron looking good and riding a ton of momentum.
Now let's get this one going. We are with DaHanG off the get-go. He has got himself the lightning gun, the rockets. This is actually a really wonderful start. You enjoy spawning on this side of the map because you get those weapons early on. But you still got to respect the fact that Xron has got that die roll. So if he picks up the rockets, all of a sudden the close range fights you can have, and I mean really close range, are something that you're going to have to be limiting, like Tox said in his interview.
Yeah, and not forgetting that Ranger has his passive, less self-damage on rockets in general, so he's going to be a lot less shy of going for those point-blank rockets, which will only benefit him on a map like Veil of Nath.
He'll wheel this out. DaHanG's going to keep pushing. He's got a second or so left of it. Xron has still got that overstack health. And DaHanG might want to deny this light armor despite not really needing it that much, but that's an awesome rail from Xron.
Xron just looks on fire. Now, we were talking about how DaHanG's kind of somewhat looks like he's struggling to find his element a little bit. And Xron is just having the opposite problem. Like, he is on fire today.
I mean, it's really, really touching to see, to be honest. Like, he's worked a lot on his game, and it's really understated sometimes. He's had a lot of results which he wouldn't want to, you know, put that claim to. But this is maybe something that he can get that he'll be proud of. That is going to be the first frag for Xron. Still, DaHanG goes with 0 points, moving into the second map. He needs to pick up something at some point to just kind of get the ball rolling for himself.
I would imagine DaHanG's going to at least be able to rack up some frags on a map like this one. It kind of naturally invites close combat much more than Molten Fools, just because of the map size in general, but that's one good rail. Needs to land one more, though. He is going to chase this one down, but just can't find the rail angle.
That's a great dodge. Xron has really switched on in terms of where he should be standing and knows that DaHanG is going to be going for these types of rails. Hopefully Xron is okay. He's made a good recovery, all things considered.
little bit of a sigh of relief actually on the player cam. Not quite sure what was going on there, but
Indeed.
the important thing is he's still alive. This is a bad room to get caught with out a full stack, especially against BG8. 4 seconds away from having his dual wield again. But that Dire Orb is in play, which is why DaHanG can't just constantly press the advantage.
Oh wow, he actually used the Dire Orb just there. There's going to be a drop down of the dual wield LG, and that is going to be DaHanG securing a frag on the board.
You know DaHanG was just waiting for that Dire Orb. You know, even if the dual wield served its purpose to bait the orb and then catch him on the other side, like he was ready.
I would have loved to have seen a Dire Orb though to go back up to the top part of the map where the power-up spawns. I think that was one way to get out of that because he was seriously outstacked at that point. Full natural versus full overstack. It's a lot of extra damage you've got to be doing. He doesn't want to take that light armor just yet in case he takes more damage. Now he can back off to go to it, but there's been amazing rockets. Rocket jump away, but the rail from DaHanG is going to put him into the lead.
Almost thinking that the rocket jump there was used to try and escape, but DaHanG, a man that's always ready. And he had that rail angle before he even saw the rocket jump.
Whoa.
And there we go again. Dual wield, paying its dues. And the problem is, yeah, this is a really good spawn for Xron. That's one of the best spawns he could have had. Able to just clean up.
I mean, it's a great spawn, but DaHanG went through there. He should have known it was a possibility. If you're forced to spawn before you go through the teleporter, you're more likely to be on that opposite side of the map. So in some respects, I think he kind of asked for it.
Gave it on a silver plate, my friend. Let's hope it doesn't punish him too heavily, because let's not forget, DaHanG is still 1 frag in the lead. That will only mean so much for a map like this, but a lead is good enough to establish some kind of presence, at least.
Top up the rocket ammunition. Got plenty of time to be at the top part of the map. Spotted DaHanG now, but there's landing some amazing shots from the below. Those are the kind of rockets you want to be landing. Well played from DaHanG. And now, well, the world is almost his oyster, but it just looks like John is going to make a quick play for that mega health.
Yeah, we definitely talked about how the American players will have this crowd on their side, and it is no exception here with DaHanG. I mean, I suppose almost especially for DaHanG. He's been a fan favorite for a long time in Champions.
He's been on the QuakeCon stage so many times as well in the past. Been in finals. And he enjoys it so, so much.
And currently 2 frags in the lead, which I'm sure he's also enjoying. But here's the moment. But entry damage pretty even both ways. And Xron nowhere near strong enough to take that fight. He's going to retreat onto the heavy and land a wonderful rail. That's going to force DaHanG into a really difficult position. There's the rail again.
These rails from Xron are unbelievable. And I love the kind of slow plays that we're getting at the same time. Understanding these little clues of the open doors and forcing those intelligent maneuvers. It is heavy armor. That's going to be the next big item. Xron looking around, trying to see if DaHanG is lurking closely, but now knows that it is the heavy that he needs his eyes on. And he might even get the mega at the same time. This is really, really big news for Xron. But it looks like he wants to apply a bit of pressure. He uses the orb up, but there's going to be a slip away there from DaHanG. He might even be able to get through the teleporter in time. This could mean stealing away that mega. There is dual wield, so it's difficult to justify pushing through that teleporter. I feel like there's an overextension from Xron then. I
mean, it was the one moment he tries to be like particularly aggressive to try and make something happen. DaHanG slips the net and then steals a really important item. And now, funnily enough, in a short space of time, it's DaHanG that has the superior stack. The heavy's going to spawn as well, and it has been swiftly taken. That one error in judgment has costed Xron a fair few rotations of these items, I think.
You can see how it is a battle of the minds, that they're making these reads on each other. And as good as what Xron is, what Xron did was, DaHanG making the counterplay to circle around, knowing that Xron was trying to make that maneuver. That was incredibly impressive.
But much like the previous map, only 1 frag separating the 2 players. There's a lot of time to make something happen, and Xron knows it. He does catch DaHanG off guard, looking the wrong way. I feel like if he knew he'd be catching the wrong way, he might have gone for something other than a rocket launcher, harder to dodge, but that was definitely one of those situations where I don't think he was fully ready for DaHanG to look in that direction, honestly.
Would have. There's a dual wheel for a second. He's going to go through a teleporter, trying to get those mega out. The mega health is helping a lot. There's low HP. He's run out of LG ammunition. He's going back up the bounce pad. DaHanG, why is he bouncing again? He falls, and it's going to be tied 4-4.
DaHanG was looking for a rail at the same time. He did pull the trigger faster. Unfortunately, didn't hit its mark. And Xron was ready. Looking for the good stack. The dual wheel, it's gone. He hasn't got anywhere near as much to fear. Misses the rail, but there's still time. to get something with these missed rails. I think that might be DaHanG's cue to get out of there.
I like that. Really good dire orb. Showing he can get back as soon as possible because you lose so much time otherwise if you're down in that little light armor cavern. And there is going to be the heavy afterwards, so Xron can really get full control. And he looks like he wants to commit to this angle a bit more. Last time this happened, DaHanG swung around and got the item, but in with the lightning gun. DaHanG's stack is getting pretty low. He has found him on the bottom. Can he dodge these rockets? He can! Xron takes the lead!
Perfect time to engage right there. He knows that DaHanG doesn't have as much utility there. The stack was much lower. And it was, I mean, nowhere to run, really. BJ may have high damage output with dual wield, but he hasn't got the mobility options. Can't quickly escape. The Mega's been taken, but is that actually going to save his skin? I'm not 100% convinced, and the misses will guarantee that he does in fact get out of there.
Yeah, DaHanG has been taking some items though, so he's definitely still in the game, and he's going to know the timing as well for heavy, so he's certainly going to have some presence over here. Xron might want to actually push back, because it's super difficult to challenge with this health and armor.
Oh my god, but with rockets like that, the missed rail was going to keep DaHanG nice and confident, of which is actually been able to kind of bully Xron away from the heavy. The Mega's up too, and unfortunately, I'm not sure he's actually going to be able to reach it in time. Yeah, DaHanG takes both of them. Xron's not been afraid of giving up some of those if it means he can kind of stay off the radar a little bit. Goes in for the dire orb.
That nails to rocket, man. What a combo that was. Xron is one of the people to talk about. This game is a lot about hitting those weapon combinations on people. You can get such a crazy output of damage.
But now with heavy DaHanG, he's going to try and make the fight! The dual-wheeled rail. I'm not sure Xron was remotely ready for that one, because he got hit and then re-peaked. It was almost equal to the speed.
It was so fast. Unbelievable. DaHanG stringing together some more shots. The teleporter's going to be used. DaHanG's going to guess on that one. Tries to pick him up out of the skies. Xron looking to hide the tribal. It's going to hurt, surely.
How do you escape this situation? Xron finds a way! How the hell did he survive that one, Zoot?
Unbelievable that Xron turns that around. It looked like a dead certain that DaHanG was going to take the lead.
Absolutely ridiculous how Xron survived that. But he hit the shot. He was looking for it, and I mean, he needed it. It was his only alternative. Otherwise, that was a death sentence, but just in time. We have 30 seconds on the clock. DaHanG now desperately needs to get one final frag. Otherwise, that one clutch moment from Xron's going to give him a second map here.
So clutch. And DaHanG is going to have to find his way down. Xron protecting that lead. We've got 15 seconds to go. He makes a move away, but there's a rail in his backside. He goes into the cavern. He has got the orb, and he knows he has to get out of there fast. He's got sub 10 seconds. We've got DaHanG. I think he tried to rocket jump up, missed it. And he's now on only a couple of points of health. That's going to be GG, and it's 2-0 now for Xron. He's on match point.
You find yourself sitting here right now thinking, what the hell happened at the end of that map? Xron was in a terrible position. There was no resources around him. He barely had an escape route available. He just managed to hit that one shot he desperately needed. And that is clutch if I've ever seen it.
I mean, that fight in the rail room, I do not know still how Xron was able to turn that around. Again, he's hitting those ridiculous like rockets, rails. But DaHanG knew he just needed some of that tri-bolt to connect, but just somehow he couldn't get the splash damage onto him. And then after Xron got the kill, he hit a really important rail when DaHanG was crossing over for the heavy armor, and that just slows down the game enough that Xron is able to still pull out some defensive shots if DaHanG tries to close the gap.
Now, I'm sure we're going to get a few of these moments here, and this is where it didn't actually quite go to plan. The stack was different. That was just, oh my god. Imagine getting a rocket that good right there, because it's such a hard place to... I was waiting for the reaction there. Yeah. But in that situation, like it very much is hard to escape. And when Ranger has his orb, there is somewhat of an escape. But look, how many of these highlights are happening in this very room? I'm sure we'll see the one at the end, too.
I mean, are we smelling out at Xron 3-0? Because I really wouldn't expect that at all.
I mean, it would be the last thing I would have predicted. You know, not to discredit Xron in any way, it's just with these kind of things, you have to go by previous results and land performances. And you know, this is Xron's one of his absolute biggest results, especially when it comes to Champions Duel. But there's different reactions here from either side. No wonder Xron's smiling after that happens.
He has a beautiful smile. Okay, he has the best smile out of all the players. Okay, prove me wrong.
Well, we'll save that for the future reactions. And then,
yeah, please.
We'll just make a player smile tier list after the show.
And I still want to see that fight that we had over at the rail room, because it's ridiculous. And that's DaHanG just you find yourself horribly trapped on that bounce pad. It's like you really don't want to do it, and that reaction really is totally justified. It's very frustrating when you get bounced up and you're just trying to get off down at the bottom and trying to get out of sight of what is an obvious rail or LG angle for Xron.
That was such a good play there. From that smile actually there, I'm pretty sure that was after that moment of going, oh, the dual wheels. Yeah. He fires faster.
Those are rails actually from DaHanG. That was one of the best frags actually, but this was just the most clutch moment. The execution, it was flawless there from Xron.
I mean, it was perfect switching. The moment he realized that the rocket hit that angle, there was no way DaHanG could do anything about him, because at that time, he just didn't manage to get the kill before. It was just a ton of momentum. Really well played. And at the end, I mean, he had to make something happen. Yeah. He had to try.
I think he tried to do a rocket jump but hit his head on the top, but even so, he maybe would have had 110, 120 health. And with the position that Xron had, he would have been able to get him in the air still. I mean, it was a very difficult move. But obviously, at that point, it's desperation tactics. You've got to do it.
Now, DaHanG is in a difficult position now. You know, it's a very, very tall order to make reverse 3-0s. It's quite a marathon.
It is.
You know, factoring in that every map is 10 minutes long. And, you know, Quake Champions is a game that there is no downtime. From the moment you start to the moment it finishes, you're constantly having to time things. You're having to constantly, you know, play at your best. There's no room to breathe.
Yeah.
Nice stroke, dude.
And this is the 20th series they would have played this week competitively, so there's also the endurance factor in here and still being able to see the highest level possible. But everybody, we're moving into game. It's match point for Xron. Can DaHanG come back? We'll find out in a moment as we're on board with Nyx.
It's like 40 said, the role reversal. Normally, both of these players sort of made famous for the opposite champion select. DaHanG was definitely the player that kind of wrote the book on Strog and Pika last year. Things are a little different now, though.
I'm sure Xron is really jealous, though, that he's not getting to use Nyx. But the thing is, if you're playing a champion at a really high level, you also know what counters that champion. So I think both of these players are going to have a very good idea what to do against each other. Nice little move from DaHanG. He does manage to secure himself. Oh my god, the loud buzzing there of the Pika. It does eliminate it, though, with that rail.
Trying to get one of those free shots, but as Xron has been playing the entire time, no reason to really give anything to DaHanG unless you have something to gain from it, right? If we're not going to get a benefit, then why would I ever give you a situation to hit a rail on me or... Ooh. Speaking of which, that was a great shot.
Ooh. 2 in a row. Good look at LG. He wants to chase this one up a little bit. Xron can't get away from this. That's 1-0 to DaHanG.
The swap to the shotgun almost suggests that perhaps Xron was out of ammo for something quite important.
Yeah, it was a little choppy what he's doing. 2 rails in a row again! Amazing from DaHanG. Finds him off the spawn, but can't quite land the rail he needs. But he jumps back down again. Xron's in trouble. LG on him is surely an easy frag. 3-0!
I cannot believe it. It's surprising that Xron actually decided to jump back down there, just giving himself to DaHanG, saying, man, take this free map. It's all yours. What a shot. DaHanG has come online.
Yeah.
He's going to get another one. Yes, he is. Finish it off. One more.
Oh,
that would have been one of the best rails of the day if he hit that one.
That's a check your PC type of rail, that is. Oh my god, that rock is so close through the teleporter. And Xron is low on health, and he's going to get stuck in here. The LG is on him. He's taking a light arm and looking to hit some rails. He's got limited weaponry. But Xron, what are you going to do? He's got another rail. Right, the rocket comes out in time.
This is why you can never count out a player like DaHanG. We've seen more frags now than arguably we've kind of seen in the entire series, really.
Xron had his gauntlet out for a second, but he's just trying to get the weapons that he needs. There's a Pika, he does get railed out. There's a health bubble that's necessary to not get railed in one shot. And he's going to use that Ghost Walk to escape to the lightning gun room. Oh my god.
You just need to go for the teleport, Xron. There's no escape for you, my friend! DaHanG perfectly. The wrong spawn. Obviously, there are 2 spawns in that room, left or right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what is going on here? DaHanG just taking it up to 11. A form of DaHanG accuracy that we haven't seen all series. And now he's turning that dial up. Misses the rail, but Xron's still behind.
Xron's still trying to push in, though. He's trying to have some presence on the map, regardless of the beating that he's been taken. The heavy is there. It's so difficult to justify moving, but he gets taken down while he has the Pika out. And the rail right off the spawn is going to get hit once more. Very, very close.
Xron just getting completely steamrolled here. Change to the LD. Well, I'm not sure that's going to be enough. Tribot, though. Is that? Oh, the rhythm. timing it in between the tri-bolt shots, knowing he can thread the needle.
What's happened, Ketchup? Has DaHanG just had enough? Oh my god, there's the caller out again. He might get one more kill, but he's forced to use the Ghost Walk. There is heavy armor in a second. He finds another rail. It's unbelievable what he's hitting at the moment. 8-0 now for Liquid DaHanG.
He's able to restack up on the way to the jump pad. He's got that information. Xron's going to be near Mega. Let's pursue the chase. Bit of a fight breaking out. Xron might be able to get the turnaround, but not unless rockets like that hit. For a split second, you felt like Xron had a fighting chance. And
just a split second.
I mean, yeah, one rocket saw to that one. This
is entirely the DaHanG show that we've been getting right now. And his rails have just been on fire, rivaling a lot of Toxic. We've got the peek out once more, tries to get that rocket, does find him, and he's trying to move away quickly. What's he going to be able to do? He's solo on live.
The ambush was sprung, and the moment he goes, oh my god! DaHanG, ladies and gentlemen, what a shot back to back. 10 kills to nothing before we've even hit the 5-minute mark. So this is what you tune in for.
I've been waiting for that.
QuakeCon 2019.
I've been waiting for that on Awoken all day, and we're finally getting it. DaHanG delivering. Heavy, taken by Xron. Can he stay comfortable? One of the rare misses that we're getting from DaHanG. Won't hold that against him.
He's at such a lead now that he can afford to miss some of these shots, and it just really doesn't matter. He's not going to get punished for these mistakes until significantly later on. No rockets, though, and that's actually not amazing. Definitely needs to stock back up.
And the work that Xron has to do to come back is unimaginably difficult. It's possible, but now at this point you're relying on as well on DaHanG making mistakes, and he doesn't seem to be making any mistakes.
You just have to weigh up what your workload is. 10 frags in 5 minutes. Go on, easy.
Oh. Okay, DaHanG's actually pretty weak. Does see that the heavy's being taken, so Xron, although taking a bit of a beating there, has managed his health and armor pretty well. DaHanG kind of glad that Xron didn't come all the way up because he didn't quite have his Ghost Walk then. DaHanG's now going to play a slow game. He's going to try and kill a couple of minutes and maybe try and challenge for control after that.
Saving the Ghost Walk for a rainy day. Hard to predict where he's going to run away, and unfortunately Xron made the wrong call to DaHanG. Out of dodge for now, and taking a fight versus DaHanG when he's been having combat skill like this. Every shot has just been on the money, and I'm actually surprised that didn't hit, honestly. That looked like frames away from hitting its mark. To the line! There's the mid-air Pika finally getting its revenge. We waited 6 minutes for that one, too.
The funny thing is, that feels like such a DaHanG move at the same time. Feels like I've seen that like time and time again on Corrupted Keep back in the 2v2 days.
Ooh, nice shot. Very nice shot. And that tri-bolt stream hurt so good.
Gonna find him in a second. Have to react to this fast. The machine gun is a good weapon choice from Xron, actually. He does have two, but again, there is so much to do, Ketchup.
And it's got to be rapid, too. It's not even just about the workload anymore. It's the clock, which is not Xron's friend in this map one bit. We're just about to dawn 3 minutes left of this map, and he's still 8 kills behind. He has to play as well as DaHanG was, and DaHanG has been... This is one of the strongest performances of a single map that we have seen all day.
Yeah. Oh, it totally is. And just the mechanical skill we're getting, I mean, it's definitely flashbacks to the Tox game versus Cygear, because he was also hitting hard when playing Slash. But if anything, DaHanG's been executing even better.
It's the past 3 minutes now. Xron is running out of time.
DaHanG has definitely slowed down the game a lot, and this is really helping him get to the finish line with a good frag lead still.
I love the strategy, though. It wasn't all-out aggression at the beginning. It was just taking momentum as it existed. Pika, yeah. We're going to waste too much time now. Opts to get rid of it instead. One more rail. Unfortunately, actually, he's out of rails, but LG should see to that. Gets at least one rocket, but walks into a defensive one, and at this stage, it just wastes time! Or frees you up outside the map. DaHanG.
Xron is still smiling, though. I think he can respect the plays. It's a nice... It's slightly risky, but, I mean, when he's hitting like that, it almost doesn't even matter.
Sometimes a player's accuracy can be so good. Anything that someone would consider a questionable play becomes, hey, fair enough, bro. If you're hitting all these shots, normally players won't make a decision because you have to bank on your accuracy being perfect. I mean, we're all human, right? You can't be perfect all the time.
You can't catch up.
Oh, not in this. Not a matter of this, mate. I want to be DaHanG when I grow up. Oh! A little bit caught, but still alive.
Oh my god, is he going to try and go for one more? He's going to go through the teleporter, surely. Ron's got to take risks. The Pika goes through the teleporter.
I actually love the fact that he kept the rail. I think keeping the rail wasn't because he wanted to get the last shot on Xron. It's because the rail was the fastest, most efficient way at dealing with the Pika. That was a perfect bait on the Mega, putting Xron behind even further.
The fact that they both hit that shot as well is just remarkable. There it is. Alduna's got no Ghost Walker at all, tries to maximize his damage output. Let's have a look at the kind of stack that Xron has. He's even delaying the spawns now, and Xron is very, very weak. The machine gun is going to be enough. He's going to keep hold of a 9 frag advantage.
I mean, it just traded off even further, right? That wasn't necessarily a frag for Xron because DaHanG got the spawn and he got the pickup on top of fragging Xron there. It's the Mega. I mean, this is game over. So we're going to have to start going into our next map. And if you're DaHanG, you desperately needed not only a win, but it needed to be in this fashion for you to get that momentum back. Because I felt like he was out of steam at this point.
Yeah, it's a huge confidence builder. So DaHanG's going to feel indestructible for a bit. And it's going to be up to Xron to slow things down moving into the next one. He can try and get what he can done now. But there's the LG, a missed rail from Xron. It's going to be another frag being sunk into the scoreboard. DaHanG can chill.
Now, I think if you're Xron, the best thing to do is going to be to shake off how things went. You know, because he has to understand, hey, look, I won 2 maps already. This one was a disaster, but at least there's a safety net.
It's just this rails, man. He misses a couple in a row, but I forgive him. He gets the kill in the end, 15-3. DaHanG is on the board.
That's what we're looking for, and I think that's what the crowd's been waiting for as well. You can hear the significant difference.
28 of 55 rails hit. That's 2.4k damage, basically, more than double what Xron did. That is ludicrous catch-up.
It was a game of just constantly chaining those frags together. I know on a map like Awoken that happens. You know, it is a game of I get one frag and just keep that pain train rolling, and that's exactly what DaHanG did. You know, this will naturally change as we do transition into some more maps now, but it's like I said a few minutes ago, like if you're DaHanG and you were this far behind and the manner of which he lost some of those, you need to make sure that you're getting a dominant map win to get back on, because if you can take any ounce of momentum away from Xron when he's got to be feeling as good as he was at the time, anything's going to be a win in that department.
Do you think this is going to put some doubt into Xron's mind at all?
I'm not sure. I mean, like you said, right, every time he's getting fragged in this final map, that's kind of like smiles and, okay, fair enough. You know, he was respecting the plays. It definitely wasn't really affecting him, so...
He's usually not one to get tilted, I'd say. But you never know what's going in there, what's masking the emotions as well. It's hard to tell what goes on in the engine room.
I think if we see another one of those on our next map, perhaps I think this might be a bit different.
Then it might be time to worry.
Because then, yeah, you have to go, hang on a minute, I was ahead, and then 2 maps just zipped past. What the hell happened there?
No, but we've had such stunning stuff. Look at that. He's still smiling, no matter what.
I see a lot of those frags, to be fair, were so good, you have no choice but to just hold that L. It's like, well, fair enough, man. What can you say about that? Like, it was just well executed. And the Knicks really helped that kind of momentum too, because...
Oh, was this it? Was this it?
I think so.
Oh, yes. There it is. Oh, I love that. The spawn frags are brilliant, and it is.
But this is why I'm not really worried about Xron, to be honest, because this is... So these are really messing me up in the best of ways. But yeah, this was just complete destruction. There's no 2 ways about it. That was the moppening.
But there's a sweet satisfaction as well from getting the spawn frags. That's when you know you're dominating your opponent. And I think DaHanG's gonna be like, yeah, this is how it should be, and hitting that rail too. I
mean, this is what we expected. Not necessarily, you know, a wash the way it was, but the accuracy and you know, just again combat skill. Whenever DaHanG and Rafa would destroy in 2v2, very consistently would DaHanG be the player that was getting the most frags. He was the killer of the team. Rafa was the scientist, and DaHanG was the player you could depend on to just get the frags when they mattered.
Yeah, I really feel it's, at least in the early parts of Quake Champions, his mechanical skills and combined with his duel ability is probably among the best, if not the best, especially around his DreamHack Winter 2017 win. Then going on into 2v2, he was still an absolute beast.
Well, I actually do believe we're loading into our next map, which is Ruins of Sarnath.
Yes.
Much harder to lay the pain train, as we saw on Awoken, but...
This is going to be an interesting game. I actually think that DaHanG's got a really good chance of tying this one up, but I'll go into that in a few more details. But everyone, let's do this. Can DaHanG tie the game up? Can he tie the series? We're here on Ruins. We've got Slash versus Death Knight.
I want to take this split second to point out to the crowd that DaHanG, I think he needs your energy more than ever. as he's currently behind. So if you love DaHanG, give him some noise.
Let's go, let's go! I think it's going to be hard work from Xron to make the Slash work. I wouldn't say it's his best champion, but Slash is still very strong, all being said. But the lightning gun, fair enough. Here, DaHanG, or see DaHanG's reaction to it. Xron is very low, so he can certainly catch up if he can find him down here. He's got good weaponry, and he's now got the information needed.
I do fear that Slash, although you may not be 100% a believer in Xron Slash, I think she still has a pretty good chance of being able to run rings around Death Knight. This is a champion that is point-blank to attack, and pretty much that's it when it comes to his general ability. His stack's okay, but her general speed is going to be a real pain in the backside.
That lightning gun was nasty there.
Just melted away. Xron on the back foot again, and a few seconds actually until either of the major pickups will spawn. DaHanG's going to jump down. This actually might be an opening! Oh! That disgusting flick. What a shot.
I did not think that was going to land. That was impossibly difficult. He's going to find him again. There's one more rail. Xron's pretty weak, and he's trying to find him before he drops down. Misses the shot. And Xron will slip down that tunnel to the heavy room.
It's reaching a point where he's hitting rails that are so good. It's disappointing that he misses them, but I mean, you understand. They're hard shots. Just hitting so many of them. Like the time to turn around is now. He gets the all-important information from the rocket. 10 damage. Who cares? We got information, baby.
Yeah, Xron is just wasn't sure what to do there. Caught napping. Mega health is up. We got Xron nearby. There's a couple of flame trails on the floor, but the lightning gun looks good, and Xron's not going to break away.
And that lightning strike was not to get damage. It was to create the flame trails to shut off Xron's advance. If you're going to crouch slide, actually, to be fair, if you're going to crouch slide a Slash, you're stuck on the ground. You have to go through the flames sometimes.
That's an interesting counter, actually. Heavy. Did he up? Xron looks like he wants to challenge. I think he needs to get the hell out of there. There is a stacked DaHanG. He's got all the weapons that he needs. He's here in a timely manner for the mega health. Xron needs to be very, very steady. He needs to find a way to get to a major item, but right now DaHanG is locking him out and have a very, very good split on the mega and the heavy timings.
Now we have 10 seconds until the next heavy. Ooh. Now the rail actually wasn't the end of the world getting hit by that. It does actually force DaHanG into the heavy situation. He's going to collect it anyway. Now if you're Xron, you have to recalculate. Hang on a minute. This guy's hitting way more shots than he was in a couple of maps before. Means Xron's going to have to show significantly more respect here. Trying to keep him away with the LG, but the swap to the railgun. Very intelligent as DaHanG. If he pushed that one forward, that would have also been a very difficult situation to recover from there for Xron.
Yeah, it was a really sick fadeaway rail, actually. And he does get himself the heavy, which is going to be incredibly valuable for a squishy champion like Slash. Move towards Mega, DaHanG caught in the middle, but it's going to be Xron who falls down below, trying to hit the rail through those holes. I've not quite seen that happen yet, so make me a believer, Xron. DaHanG is just nursing this small lead. It does look like he's going to get to heavy before Xron, so I wonder if he's going to commit to the fight. Trying to find him. LG to rail looks pretty good. There's 1 second left until his heavy's up, but DaHanG looks like he's just taken it. Can he stay alive in this?
I'm not entirely sure. He has got some cells with the LG, more than enough to potentially survive this. He's now going to go for the swap. Wasn't 100% confident, but when he missed those rockets, he had to go for some sort of adjustment, and now it's going to be 3-3 here in the mega health. Xron's reward for a good fight by Heavy. And now another fight close range. DaHanG, he was kind of limited on the weapons department then, without a rocket. I don't think he was going to be super confident in that fight, but now he's chasing it down. Instant Demus doesn't quite hit its mark.
Waiting for those flames to fall away. You don't know there's over there. Okay, gets hit a little bit. He hits a nice rail, but he's got to get out of there. That plasma trail does help a bit, and it's going to shut DaHanG away if he tries to chase directly.
It's much closer. These fights have been a lot more high octane. DaHanG's taken the chase. He knows the rail got missed. That was unfortunately a pretty long-ranged miss there from Xron. I wonder if he kind of just got caught in the middle of the drag.
Found him. Uh-oh. Oh god, this is really nasty for Xron. DaHanG now. It's going to take the lead back. I think Xron was expecting that to turn out very differently. Mega health going to be up in a moment. DaHanG still wants to push forward. going to put those flames across the floor so that the no sliding deep into the fight will occur. That's a great rail shot.
I mean, this has to be a chase from DaHanG. He knows that Xron spawned near Tribal, and it's all he's got. If you're Xron, you're in a terrible spot. Yeah, DaHanG, instead of trying to push towards the frag, opts to go for the heavy instead. Let's keep Xron behind and take control, because ultimately, what is Xron going to be able to collect without Mega up there that's going to make a huge difference to his stack? Not much, honestly.
DaHanG, I'm just checking that light armor to see if that's something that Xron would have taken lately. He might want to protect that resource. He's not going to be able to deny it himself.
Keeping a lookout for Xron before he collects. Now, they're being taken. I think Xron must have heard that one, but Heavy's going to be the next objective. DaHanG has so much control now.
He's sort of both the light armors are up, so it's like, okay, if he's not playing on that side, where on earth is he playing from? At this point, though, he knows he has to take the time to go towards the heavy, so he's wondering, okay, where does Xron go to? Does he go to the top or bottom light? Looks like he goes to the bottom. Xron goes up the bounce pad. Going to try and meet him through the teleporter. Finds him on the floor. There is the plasma trail, but he still nails the rail.
Feels like for Xron that in some of these cases, there truly is no escape. Mega's been taken, but without armor, your health is just a stick of butter, and DaHanG's a hot knife. That's pretty good.
Beautiful. Well, Heavy's, it looks like DaHanG's going to give up that heavy, actually. I'm not sure what I think of that. Completely unchallenged. Xron was on low HP. And Xron might actually be surprised that he got that one for free. I wonder if there's been a mistime over here. Looks like he might just go for an early setup on Heavy. That's one way to counteract it. He's got a stack regardless, and it is still difficult for Xron to push in, but one rail does make him weak enough to consider charging. And it is Xron who's chasing that lead, so it's up to him to make those aggressive pushes when necessary.
Yeah, and even if both of these were a little bit of a long-winded pickups, the important thing is DaHanG has perfect timing on both now, regardless of situation. And now we have gone into that 3-minute territory. This is normally where we do see players start to adjust their play style. Playing defensive and runaway versus slash, maybe easier said than done. But here comes the rockets. There's no trade. King the frag, and there's the flames. The damage over time. One of the benefits to Death Knight is that it's never truly out unless if you're sitting in the flames. The trade potential is crazy good.
Yeah, I thought Xron was going to walk away with that one and get the health bubble that we see him and stood next to now, but a mutual that DaHanG is going to be thankful for.
That's what we said earlier. You know, she has to tread through the floor to get the speed, and as long as the flames are on the floor, she is victim to that.
Looking maybe if there's a light there, knows that upper T is where DaHanG is keeping the control from. It's going to be Heavy soon.
You worry a little bit about Xron now. We have 2 minutes left, and because that trade took place, he pretty much is no closer to being where he needs to be. Wow, that plasma trail. Just doing a bunch of damage. Yeah, I think we're all a bit surprised about that one.
I think he's just surprised that DaHanG moved down there afterwards. So he's on it, okay, I just got loads of damage. He may have been surprised that he got another clean heavy. He's going to find him. There's going to be the flame strike on the floor, but he should be able to chase for the kill. Rockets, can they do enough? He's going to dig into the flames!
He can't
believe it!
2 frags in a row just being traded out, and once more, Xron no closer to victory.
Unreal.
Incendimus, my dude.
Always feel scripted, man. Oh, that rail shot. He's looking for another. That's 2 in a row. One more, 3 rails for Xron!
And now he's straight back into the fight. We have well over a minute, and he's got a wonderful spawn. Watch out for those nails, though.
Wow.
Okay, finally hits the rocket. Xron back in this. DaHanG has been doing so well, and now risks the final map. Potentially here for DaHanG, slipping through his fingers.
That's going to be the heavy. Xron's timing, I think, has been exemplary, too. Did he just hit that teleporter being used? He's going to chase through, tries to find him. There's not bad damage on the exit of the teleporter, but DaHanG is pretty weak. Has he got that timing on Mega? He's going to go through. 1 second to go. Tries for the flick rail.
This is going to be a really devastating loss for DaHanG. He's done all this work so far. An absolutely one-sided Awoken and a fantastic Ruins, but if it ends here after all this work, he's going to be disappointed.
But he's still keeping it steady at least. You know that he's anchored down at the heavy armor. So it's about keeping a hold of that and working forwards. He could get to an overtime, but you know what? DaHanG's moved in. I don't know if he wanted to do that! He pushed too far up and thought the Mega was his. Right up the spawn. Xron's going to be possibly even converting this. But he's realized there's only a few seconds left. You don't need to risk everything. Xron, he's going to take it. 3-1!
That was an insane final set there in the map, and you got to feel bad for DaHanG how he worked so hard and he tried up until the last possible second, but that last fight that just went pear-shaped was the beginning of the end. But what a result here from Xron, and this is one of, if not the biggest result he's had in QC Duel so far.
Yeah, absolutely unreal. And he was really styling a little bit himself with Slash. I wasn't expecting a Slash performance to be quite as great as that, but no, super, super impressed by him.